Well, I've just completed my second last long run for this training block, and it was a lot of fun because I used the Sunset Coast half marathon as part of this second last long run. And the reason for that was just to have a bit of a dress rehearsal for race day. So, you know, going through that whole process of going to a race, so getting there on time, getting in the corrals on time, getting your bib, registering, just to try and normalize the whole process so that, yeah, it all just feels more familiar and normal on race day. So that was one, and also obviously just to get a good training run in. So I wasn't racing it. My goal was, yeah, to go through race day routines, and also just to kind of gauge where I'm at with kind of my target power for the race. And it was really good. So I was targeting a pretty conservative figure. I was targeting 315 watts for the half marathon, which won't get me a sub 3 hour marathon, but I thought it's probably where my fitness is at. But the good news is that I think, you know, that was too conservative. Even now, I'm not tapered, bringing a lot of fatigue into this. I hadn't entered my threshold heart rate zone by the end of the half marathon, and actually even by the end of 26Ks, because, so on that, I completely stuffed up the race in that I missed the memo for the turn point. So I actually ended up running 26Ks instead of 21.1 or whatever it's meant to be. So I'm really glad I wasn't racing it, because that would have been devastating. Yeah, running 26Ks instead of 21. So even after 26Ks, my heart rate still was in that zone 3. So that tells me that I can push harder. So maybe sub 3 is on, we'll see. But that was really encouraging. I felt really good. Yeah, so I think for my last long run, I'll push those paces a little bit, and we'll see how my body responds there. And also another purpose was to practice with all the race day stuff. So I tried out a whole lot of new things today, which is really fun. So, I mean, a really big one is I'm trying new in-race nutrition. So for the first time, I was using Morton gels, and they went so well. Really good, no problems whatsoever. So the reason I wanted to try them is, so before I've been using the UCAN stuff, which has been really good, but I think they're really good for training runs. Like, I was just worried it wasn't going to be enough carbohydrate in a race. I was worried that now I'm running a little bit quicker, my burn rate of carbohydrates is just too high for what UCAN can handle. That was my thinking anyway. So I tried the Morton ones just to get some more carbs in, and it all went down really easily. Very easy to consume, and they're much smaller than the UCAN packets, which is nice. No issues whatsoever with the stomach. So yep, big tick for the Morton gels. I also tried out some new shorts. Tried compression shorts for the first time. Love them in every way. They're so much more comfortable. So I've got two. I tried one today, and I'll try my other ones for my last long run and see which I prefer. But yep, that went really well. I ran with the kind of naked running belt. That went well. It was a little bit tricky getting stuff out as I was running, just because my shirt was kind of overlapping, but it's fine. It's a really good way of holding gels and all the other things you need to hold. What else was new? New socks. They were great. Yeah, so everything I tried was a big success, and I'm feeling really confident. I tried my carb load yesterday. Again, went really well. So the method I'm using for that is, from everything I've read, what is generally accepted to be the best way now. So in 2002, a research group from UWA, actually, which is from where I'm from, published a study which basically blew all other carb loading strategies out the window. So they found, following their protocol, athletes were able to store 190% more glycogen in their muscles, which is huge. I mean, that's a game changer. That's basically starting the race with almost twice the amount of fuel as you would normally. So I'm following that UWA protocol, and originally that protocol called for like some really intense session the day before, but there was a follow-up study that found that that kind of depletion session wasn't necessary, which is really good, because it's, you get a bit nervous doing a really high intensity session the day before a race. So now they're saying the best way is the day before the race to have 10.3 grams of carbohydrate per kilo of body weight, which is heaps. That is a lot of carbohydrate. So that means for me, at my current weight, I'm targeting, I think it was about 760 grams of carbs, which is stacks. So you really need to plan and be smart with it. So yeah, obviously I wanted to make sure I was getting that number of carbs, but also very minimal fat, because of course fat slows down carbohydrate absorption. So really dropping the protein and fat percentage in the diet, and huge amount of carbs. So one of the ways I achieved that goal of about 760 grams of carbs is by using the Morton 320 drink mix. So that each one of those sachets has got 80 grams of carbs in, and the beauty of that is that you only need 500 ml of water. So it's a really concentrated solution. Most other carb drinks are kind of half the strength, but with Morton's hydrogel technology, they call it, they're able to get a really concentrated solution that's absorbed and doesn't cause stomach upset. And again, that went really well. So I had four of those yesterday, along with just the usual stacks of rice and pasta and all that stuff. So really good. I achieved everything I wanted to. The carb load, I feel like I've got that nailed. Race day nutrition, I feel like I've got that nailed. I didn't need the toilet at all, so I think hydration's good. I don't feel dehydrated. My pee was a good color, but I didn't need the toilet. So everything's looking good. Although at the end there, so after the half marathon, after my 26k half marathon, I obviously did some more running to try and top up, because my goal was to do 2 hours and 55-minute long run today. And during that, like my knee was pretty sore, and I'm almost certain it was because of the hills. So it was quite a hilly course. It's actually got more elevation gain than the Boston course. And it was really windy as well, but I noticed on the downhills, I was really attacking the downhills, which I think for me is a good strategy. I feel like my quads are pretty strong and they were handling it fine. So I was attacking those downhills, but I could really feel it beating up my knees a bit. I didn't wear the compression bandage, so I'll have to, although having said that, my knee feels fine now. So I'll see how I pull up tomorrow. But yeah, that was a little bit of a concern, but I'm hoping that, because the Perth Marathon is a very flat course, so I'm not going to have anywhere near the elevation gain that we ran today. So I'm hoping that's not going to be an issue, but I'll just have to see how we go. And I want to play it really smart. Like if I'm in pain, I need to try and miss sessions today if that's going to be the right call. So I'm going to try and be sensible. I've got one more week of like proper training before I start to taper. But having said that, if I feel like it's going to be detrimental in terms of pains and things, then hopefully I have the good sense to call that off. But that was a fun day, a beautiful day. I don't know if you can see outside. Yeah, stunning day. It was really windy, really hilly, so the paces were way off, but to be honest, I actually don't even know what pace I averaged. I don't particularly care. I knew this course was really hilly and it was going to be windy, so I'm only concerned with the average power really. And on that front, really happy. I hit my target and discovered that it's probably too conservative. I can push harder. So maybe, just maybe, we're on for sub-3. I don't know. So long run next week, I'm really looking forward to, because I'm going to be testing out potential race day shoes. So that's going to be really exciting to nail down which shoes are going to be best for me. So the 3 I'm going to try are some balloons flying across the road. The options for me are the Nike Alphafly 2s, the Saucony Endorphin Pro 2s, or the Nike Vaporfly 3s. So they're my 3 options. I do have another one which could be an option, but they just don't suit me. I've got the Adidas Adizero Pro 3s, which, everyone loves them. Apparently they're a great shoe, but they just don't work very well for me. So I've used them as training runs this whole block. and they've done well. Like, I do all my long runs, all my tempo sessions in them. I've put nearly 600 Ks on them, but I find for me they're not very comfortable, and also they're not very efficient either. They're no more efficient than my daily trainers. So yeah, they were never really an option for me, but they've been, you know, they've been good training shoes. So yeah, looking forward to seeing, hopefully I can see a bit of a efficiency boost in using one of those other shoes. My last marathon I ran in the Nike Alpha Fly 2s and really liked those. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. So good day, great success. I'll see you next week.